Friends, hello everyone. I'm continuing to work on the Previz. I'm doing all this just for myself, just to practice. And I want to show you today how in Unreal Engine you can make it so that when you use your cycle prepared in advance, the character stayed in place, i.e. usually now if I turn it on, display of bones, then you will see that here's on some of them. In places the character steps aside from your main, that's basically most likely a hip, pelvic bone, possibly, and it's not very convenient for further work usually, because if I want to stick with the next animation, like here, I need to either consider the position of a certain leg or move to another position. So here's a choice you can select based on some to stick together. It's usually not very convenient because sometimes the character moves further and further away from its center each time. And if I need to switch to just a running cycle later, and the main one is somewhere over here, very far, it becomes quite inconvenient. Here I have already made one such transition for myself, tried pose, more precisely on a cycle, in which the character is in one place. I've just animated here. You can already see I've just animated the position of the main. Now I want to show you how I did it. Now I'm going to turn off the bones display. So what happens here next? You need to deal with what's happening here next. Okay, let's keep an eye on this character. So he fell, and what happens next is he pushes off, and I want him to run as soon as he recovers. He ran at him tucking, and here is such an option. Here, look what I can do. That is either I'm aligning myself according to the position of one of his legs. What do I do in this case? I'm adding an animation. Here I am going. Wait, where's my character? There he is. Not at the very bottom. It's highlighted, meaning I press animation, choose here what I need. Let's see what there are. Do I have an animation here at all? I took animations from a library prepared in advance. So basically I need a run. There's a running with a jump, a climb. He does it like this. Then I will now go to the animation library and load the one I need. So I'm loading an animation that I prepared in advance. Running animation, I'm only loading the animation. Here is the animation. We'll look at what it looks like. So I'm going to use this animation now. I'm tossing into the animation folder. And what I want to do now is what I want to do. So you push, and immediately, without waiting, you should jerk towards the exit. Click on add animation. Find it in the quick search. So look what we have here. We have such animation here. He stood up there. He's running. He's in a completely different place right now. So how can I connect this animation with the previous one? I can connect by position. One of the body parts. Yes. One of the parts. One of the body parts. Let's see what would work well. In this case, here I see the motion begins. His pushing leg from which he needs to push is the right one. Right mouse button, and let's try to connect our movement to the right stroke. Right. Here's foot. I'll try on the right foot, but he unfolds and unfolds from the previous clip. Right leg, a second right leg. I don't even understand why he flipped it now. Honestly, I see. Okay. If I'm making a connection just over the top leg, he still turns it. I don't understand why. If anyone knows, write in the comments why this is happening. I really don't get it. Yes, much width. Just like with the previous clip, generally, in my experience, it merges well sometimes over the shoulder. Here's his shoulder. He turned it, but he's still, you see he's running no O where I need it. That is, I can somehow smoothly glue it here, just like this, once, and he went. right? Here he wants, and he went. And here, when he starts moving, he moves unnaturally. His legs, as if neither of them moves correctly relative to physics. That is, slippage and everything else. That is, from his shoulder comes the impulse, and his legs seem to be just hanging. Yeah, we don't really need this. We need him to push off with his foot. Well, okay, what happens if I stick to the left foot? Here it is on the left foot. It moves more naturally, right? Let's do it this way. Now scan. His left leg moves more naturally, but not in the direction I need. I still have to add additional keys here to unfold him. But when I do, I'll press like this, for example. And so yes, I'll start to unfold. You see how far he is from the character, how far the main is now. Yeah, it's just very inconvenient all. So I mean, before this, I was joining this cycle specifically by regarding the position of the heel, legs, and everything else. It's just uncomfortable. I still want to try to find how to glue it properly. Nevertheless, by stop, let's do this. Okay, if he pushes, moreover, if I press it again, it moves over here. There it is. Basically, he started doing it here on the right foot. Okay, so where is he running? He's running not where I need at all. And just down. Okay, let's say like this. Here he is. Here, basically, he is right here. Quite, one could say that he is quite starting to move correctly according to physics. That is, I feel, an honest push with the foot, but he's running in the wrong direction again. So if I say do it like this, okay, I think he's going there. Well, this is not what I want. It's all very hard to control. Again, write in the comments if you know how to do it better. Another option is to try to connect the animation by... but again, this will already be movements not from dishonestly relative to the legs. Here he ran. There he ran to our wonderful John Wick. But again, he runs not exactly in the direction I need. I need to correct this. Here I am correcting. Here it is once. That is, he still slips. Why is it slipping? I don't understand why it slides. It should, theoretically, to be honest. Probably because there's a rotation of this rotate. And at this moment he slides. And all this doesn't really suit me because, well, if on play, it's a pity. Yeah, but basically it may not even be noticeable, but I'm not satisfied with it. I want the motion to be more real. Similar. And I want this cycle to be in place. And I myself control the speed of the character's movement. I want to show you again. And that is, here are our bones. Here's where the character is now relative to the bone. He stopped here, and he was here. And there he went, yes. And there they are. This one bone of his remains here, which means that the next animation that I'll need to glue together, it will again be moving somewhat away from this central axis, possibly. And this will not be convenient. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to open a level that I created specifically to doing exactly test animations, correcting more precisely, not level, but everything. And in this sequence, I want to make an animation of this character in place right now. That is, I am adding it to zombie killers. So I'm about to do something. Watch. Here he is, our little man. So I'll turn off all the other characters I don't need for now. 1, 2, and so now I'm adding a running animation to these zombie killers. So we don't need John Wick here at all. Here he is running. Can I turn off the light for now? Although it's more interesting to work with the light on. There he goes. What are we doing? We're currently selecting our character by right-clicking. Let's go to this scroll called Edit with FK Control Rig. We click on it and press the Create button. At this moment, we have the opportunity to control various bones. In terms of their animation look, I, of course, to be continued. So I took extra here, of course. So we only do it this way. I just created extra keys actually. We will just delete them. If you did so, just delete them. We don't need them. I only need the cycle keys I'm working with. So somewhere here. Here it is. Tan 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 tan. Yes, great. Thank you. Here it is. So first and the last, actually. What am I doing now? Now I'm going into the bones. I find the hip bone. I think that's the hip. Yes, that's it. And right here on this bone, I'm deleting all keys except the first ones. In position, here they are. Oops. And now this is what I see. Here he is, our character. I could probably even do so. And there most likely is still an up-down movement. So I will just remove. I'll only remove the forward motion because it still has movement. It has an up-down torso motion if I remove it. And the animation is just less natural. That's it. Now we have a character who is running in place, which is just easier to control during the previous creation. What am I doing now? To use this character in the previous, I need to prepare this animation as a library animation, so to speak. I'm going to wake a animation sequence, pushing here, choosing the folder where I want to bake this, pushing, and I'm doing, wait a second, where's the title? Where's the title? I missed the title. There should be a title. Alright, bake animation sequence. Below like zombie killer animation, and the title run in place 0 1 and go, and I hit export to animation. Now we have an animation, the character who is running in place, which appeared in the library. Go zombie killer animation, and define this run in place animation. Here he is handsome, running. What do we do next? So let's use it. So okay, I'm closing this, going back to sequence, main sequence. Okay, John Wick sequence 02, and we're watching what happens. Where are all my characters? Please tell. Should I hide them all? Yes, I'm going to open them now. Let's open. Here they all are. So we're watching for John Wick to fly aside, to turn around. This was my experiment with turning in place. Let's not turn off the bones yet. But zombie killer, we remove that what we had, and add here the animation we just created. Run or run in place. Here's the animation, watch. Like this. Here I want to know. First of all, make a smooth transition so that it continues. I'm pulling this slider so that it lasts as long as I need. I want this guy to come to his senses quickly. And I'll have to neatly stick together. So we'll stick together in terms of location. I'll do this once, and then it will be easier to merge, because I plan to do all other animations, specifically with the idea that mind control stays with the character. So I want to glue this run. I want to sync this run as I did before, based on this right leg. She'll be pushing, on her left foot. I'm looking where it was standing here. It was about on this brick. Don't know if you do it differently, and know a way to fix the position in such moments. Parts of the body, was it easier? Give me a hint. So because this is just the only inconvenient transition I get at this point, which just needs strict control, and for this I think I need keys. Linear. So just to make him jump less, to have less unnecessary movements for me. So one more time here. Generally, I advocate trying to do the maximum to do native like physics, not necessarily to do opposites are exactly boiled. Sometimes in the previs, the main thing is that the character was there, and here is the necessary energy in these positions. So what's going on? Once here he bumped into something, So what did I get? Here he is pushing. I feel the tension right here in this leg. I don't understand why he is hovering in the air. Let's go. One started like this and went forward. So, and there he ran. But the question, I need him to run specifically to wiki. I want to direct him where I need to, so this extra finger we don't need. So, and here, we're looking, I feel some unnatural slide here right now. As if it's sliding somewhere at this moment. Right here, it means it's running too fast. So you need to slow down a bit. One. Here you see it slips. I want contact, this contact. In general, in Previz it's important too. The speed of the character's movements was accurately maintained because it depends on this very much. If the speed is set wrong by the movement, then everything else may just collapse later. So here you can do it a bit quicker. So here it is. I'll adjust the overall speed now. So what happened? Then he rushed off. I don't like these shakes here right now, but I'll probably leave them as they are for now. Because perhaps when the camera is set up, these don't highlight moments. Body is going like this, because here, both the main action and the character animation are moving simultaneously. They don't match up here. Here indeed, you can see this particular moment. That's exactly why I'm animating the character in place for the upcoming. There was no such thing at the stages. So that everything was smoother. What I don't like about all this right now is that it's accelerating very quickly. It's just unnatural to go from such a position to such a sharp one. So what needs to be done for this? And I'm going to kill all this now, unfortunately. And I will make a smoother transition to running about twice somewhere. So I needed to do this initially. I just want the fairness to be felt by the nature of the movement. That is, if the character was standing in such a position before, so to speak, he's in a weakened state, and then he needs to run. He needs some time to gather strength and accelerate. So we need to sew it all together more smoothly. Okay, I'm doing it once. Alright, I'm not recording, I'll do all of this again. So, now I am making a movement again from this leg, so let's think from which position would it be better to merge these two loops, bearing in mind that I would probably do this initial pose like this. I would do this initial pose to transition to it, and that is, he will kind of have this right leg, he will look some right or left. Oh, left. It will turn out lean on. Leaning on the right. Leaning on the right it will. No, it's not very convenient. Because now it's leaning on the right, on the left. And I want it to be impulse based. Yes, yes. That is, I want it to... So this is probably how it was. From here. That is one. So if I do it now from here, let's try and... I need to calculate the speed necessarily. Here he got up, and from the left leg he pushes off. I just need too fast acceleration. I don't like too fast acceleration. So what if we do so he pushed and faster? No, it's not natural. He pushed I like this rhythm, this good one. That is when I'm just looking at his acceleration now. Just I feel the correct weight in this character. So he matches the situation in character. He just pushed the bull. And after this he needs time to gather himself and move forward. And this time I think is a good time right now. Now we just need to adjust the right movement. Just like that. Well, I will have to work some magic here. I do it like this. He is still pushing off with his right leg. I put this right foot where it was. Here it is. It stays in place. I'll make the keys linear just to reduce the side-to-side movement. So here it is. While he's still pushing up to this point, I want to keep my foot there where it stood, right here. And then it's a run. Let's watch. The acceleration is good, but I do not like it. There is very strong slippage at this point. Very strong slippage. This is not good. Slippage, especially in Previz, is never good because again, this affects everything that will come after. If you have a character in the scene where it harshly slips somewhere, so most likely if you eventually decide to fix this, the whole other scene will slide. If you're shooting in one go, for example, either you're going to have to come up with ways to close the temporal windows that have appeared because of this, just like this. Step a bit further. Nope, that's wrong. Here is where he steps in, and here is just a little bit forward, and here he is. I believe in this, I believe in this, and I don't believe in this anymore. I have to tell again. Just so, and here I don't believe it, because he is sleeping, and on top of that he runs sideways. You see here he is pushing when the heel can no longer go back so much. Should lean on the ground and stay in the same place where it was. He is pushing away from it after all. Here's the point. Why is he here? So thanks for watching. If not that, it should be like this. I kind of believe here. That's it. And then actually he's close to it. I'll transition to another animation here altogether. Here I'll gradually transition to another animation. So what's the result in the end? Here the rhythm suits me more or less. I'm not satisfied. Here is some strange movement, sideways, backwards, sideways. I want it to be clear so everyone watching would believe me. And just like that. I like this much more. Of course there's somebody here, this one. But actually I'll later hide all this with camera movement. It'll be unnoticed. Bam, he ran. That's it. Bam, 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 off I went. Let's go. Now I like what's turned out. For the pre-visualization finally at this stage, I think. It's quite enough. No more is needed for now. Because it's not always clear what will be needed next. Sometimes there's no need to do extras all the time. It's money, boom, boom, boom. Off you go running. Here, ideally, when he's running at him, John Wick should already be making some kind of counterattack. That is, he had time to prepare for the strike by this moment. Next time, wait, maybe this time, right now. Now I want to do, let's see what options we have. That is, we have John Wick and friends. This is Zombie Killer. Let's see what's with the animation. We have action idle. Fast run, flight, bum 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 stall. This was he gonna go to buy? It lays quietly. But since he's actually running there, it's desired for this to match the rhythm, not even the rhythm. He wants it to be a natural transition. And since he's already on the run, maybe this animation, a flying kick, will fit in more naturally. You always just have to remember that this is a living person and he needs to make some movement. firstly, preparation is needed for this. Secondly, if there was some movement before, it kind of determines what will happen next. You can't just switch from one movement to another, which is completely unnatural. So there was some flanking, right? Let's try to do it here. Watch. I may have to finish it earlier, just like that. Don't forget to save. So, what I want to do now, I want to do the animation of the hit again. That is, I go to a special level, special sequences, prepared for this test. Right here in the sequence. Just deleting what was done. I don't need this. You don't have to delete the character. I need to delete the animation that was here. I don't need the animation. I don't need all this. Alright. Hotting or drama killer. Alright. Let's see. Reloading the animation. Flying kick. There it is. Our flying kick. Let's see. Bam. Here's how it works in the dark. Night ninja. Bam. See, his bone stays in place. If I want to hide here with the next animation, and let's say this animation will also have a hip somewhere on the side, I'll stick to the leg or arm or chest. It will continue to move further and further away from the center. It's very inconvenient. So what am I doing now? I take our character, I go to edit with FK contour, or press it, create, then I find the heat, and I'm removing the movement forward. That's this axis, I suppose. Yes, here it is, here it is. And it took everything I have for you. It's all mine for you. And now all I have left is to choose a character and bake this animation sequence. I choose zombie killer animation and flying Flynn, kick in place 01. Okay, next part. Now what are we doing? We're going back to our level with the characters. Yep. Let's see what happened before. Dark Knight. Jimvik defeats all enemies. Countless enemies. Bam, bam, bam. Oops. He turned around and started running at him. Right here. There is such a moment. It's not neat. So far I've done it. He slips through. This was my first experiment. I left it as it is for now. I don't like that it quickly gains speed here. The transition is not very correct. But I'll hide this with the camera. 1, 2, boom, boom. Ba-ba-boom. And no. What are we doing? We're adding our animation. Let's try to add the flying kick animation in place. Flying kick in place. Let's watch. What? So it turns out he ran. Whoops. And right here indeed. Wait. Why? Yeah. Subtitles were made by Dima Torzok. So what happened here? Because I shortened this loop, it started to work a bit incorrectly. So here I am taking it and doing it like this. Just like that. That's it. Let's see what's happening. I don't really like it now because naturally there is strange moments here. You need to watch. He relies on it, and for some reason starts to slip here. I don't even see it yet. He just doesn't even. There was no preparation for the jump. No. That's the point. Fondue loves you. To be continued. So far, so good. Yes. By a variant. Not very good. Because there is no true preparation. So where does the cycle start from? The chain starts with the right foot. That is from here somewhere. I need to glue it once, or from here. From here, even from here, it turns out to be a lit bunch. Such a microbead can be glued from these 3 cycles. Of course it's false, because I don't see good preparation here. So it's like a little Bollywood punch on the go. Seems kind of inadequate. In this case, it turns out he did not manage to get up on his foot. Once I'm stood right here, and if I start to glue together from here, let me see. We look here, if I start sticking here, he pushed himself with his foot and should be farther by now. So, also a second. So she's putting her foot down, he leans on it, and of course he should be a little bit ahead here. Since he has it, her leg is jolting. It will be more plausible here. I believe in this more. This is what I believe in right now. And so when he pushes, he has to fly forward to some place. I suggest doing this. Okay, so let's see his speed. Here it is, hop. And when he stops, of course, there is still some forward motion. This is what I believe in. The only question is, what was John Wick doing at that moment? Why didn't he fall? And why is this character hitting after him? After he ends up behind him? Of course, he could have miscalculated. And John Wick might have stepped aside at that moment. Bam. We need to think about the choreography here. What happened to that battery? There is, of course, another option. Oops, no, not for me. In general, one must think about what was happening with John Wick further.